What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So last time we brought the DM3 back to here in City South and we were met with a surprise. Well, there's one thing for sure in this episode, we're going to be spending money. Please do grab yourself a drink, let's hit the rails. Okay, maybe I should have said let's hit the bank, because when we returned here last time, we got hit with a bit of a surprise really, and that was the DE6s that we'd left here, with fees outstanding on them, attached to this slug, have despawned. So this is the second time that this has happened, proving to me now that the theory that I had, that if you leave fees on a locomotive that's rented, it won't despawn. Well, this proves it wrong. Fees are outstanding on two DE6s and they've both despawned since we left the area. So that proves that the only things that don't despawn are the unique items such as the slug, the caboose, the rail car, and the micro shunter, and locomotives that you own yourself, so such as the DM3 that we've now got, the DH4, and now the most recently acquired DE6. So that kind of scuffers my plans really. So my plans were to come back here, paint the DH4, have a great time with that, crack on with that wonderfully, and then take the DE6s to Harbour Town to service, to try and acquire a license or two, because we've got two major licenses outstanding. We've got the Hazmat 3 and Military 3. And if we can get both of those, that will help us to get some really good military jobs that pay an absolute fortune. But the only thing is to unlock both of those, it's 690,000. We've currently got 597. So we would have had a decent bill outstanding to clear the DE6s, maybe 30,000 as it stands. We're going to be paying 30,000 each for those DE6s to be cleared. It's going to be 60,000. Well, we might as well do that because we can't manually service them because they've despawned. So let's go ahead and do that first, and then we'll see what else we've got for today. So we'll clear those fees first. Trying to think where we would go for this. Surely there's a machine in here. There isn't. We need to go across to the station office to do that. And next step, as you can imagine, we've despawned our DE6s. So what does that mean for us? Well, we've got a DE6 available to us. So let's aim to restore some of that, which means we're going to have to go and buy a part for that. Right, there we go. So what have we got left after that? 528,000. So yeah. The one thing I will say is there any jobs going to Machine Factory in town? No, there isn't. So if we want to head there to pick up the part for the DE6, we won't be taking anything with us. So that is a fair point to consider. So we may want to head to Harbour and Town first. But first and foremost, let's... what we're going to do first. What are we going to do first? Let's see how much it's going to cost us. Right, so it's 30,000 for the piece that we need for the D6. It's automatically just populated that on there. So if we put that in there, pop that. So that's the drivetrain. Well, it's actually the engine for the D6 being 30,000. Okay. Okay, well, good shot of the bin. Okay, well, that's now purchased. So that means when we go over there, when we go to Machine Factory in town and collect that piece, it'll be there waiting for us. So what do we need? We need a loco that can do it. Well, we know the DM3 can. But what about the DH4? Because we've got the DH4. We've also got this trailer that we can take. We'll have to move this rail car out the way. We can put the rail car in there, to be fair. But let's look at repainting the DH4 first. We'll get that done. There is another consideration that I want to discuss with you, actually, with regards to the DE6. What am I doing? I need to be in this tool shed. Because also, guys, we've got a bunch of stuff which will have despawned as well out of our DE6s. So we've got an absolute ton of remote switches, which we might want to take some of them with us. Can any of these go on the shelf? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Where can this one go? There. We've got all sorts of holders and stuff. Yeah, we'll just pop these somewhere for now. And yeah, once these holders are in here, we've also got other bits of equipment, which we'll just toss in here for now. What else have we got? We've got another mount here. We've got all sorts of mounts here. And brackets, basically. Pop this there. I might take that with us, actually. And we've got that as well, which is... I can't remember which is which, but we've got a speedo and we've got a clock. I think that's the clock, actually. Right, okay. So, oh, we've got another bracket there. So I think that's all of our equipment on the shelf. So what we need is sand. And as we know, we're going to need 2 of those because we're going to need to not only spray the outside, but also the inside. We're going to need 2 lots of paint. We're going through this. This is 30,000 each, these paints. And I think that's about it for now. So the question I was going to say is, when we actually come to spray the D6, the question is, do we want to paint it in the custom livery? Which I would say, firstly, yes. But the only thing is that you can't repaint the slug. So we'll have a D6 in custom livery and the slug, which is ours, in this livery. And I don't know if you can actually repaint the slug in terms of upgrade this livery or not. To repaint it to its standard colour. I guess we can try it at the time. But it's worth thinking about anyway. Because when we go to the machine factory in town, we might want to grab some of the standard paints as well, just in case we want to paint the DE6 in its standard colour once we get it up and running. Right, so let's get this baby painted. We can see the original blue paint there is all faded and everything. In fact, she's in the wrong lane there because we have fixed her, so she should run now. I'll tell you what, just before we do that, let's just double check, because I am pretty sure that we did this, but you know when you just can't remember, because it's been that long since we were here, because we had intended to be quite quick with this, and actually we did take a lot longer. I think, well, that one's not compatible. She's full, so I don't know how she could have used fuel or oil. Unless she... Did we just start her up? Mechanical powertrain. So it's costing us more money. So this is a money episode, without a doubt. Right, let's move her into the paint bay then. I didn't realise we hadn't done that. So let's do this now. Start her up. Let's get some lights on in here. There we go. Right, release this. Put her into drive. I forgot you got a dynamic brake with her as well. And we do have the option of using the remote as well, which is very nice. Oh. Ooh, we nearly got caught out there. Well, I did anyway. Can we rotate it from here? Or do we need to close that? Ah, you have to stand over here. It's a bit of a dodgy one, that, like. Right, we'll pull this round here, and then we will proceed to get her into the painting lane. There we go. So where's the painting bay then? Is it this one? No, that's the steam. Must be this one. I think it's the one next to it here, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, we don't even need to get in there. Right, let's get out of the habit of getting in the loco, especially when we've got the remote. Okay. Get rid of that. Wrong way. There we go. So there we go. She's going in there nice and steadily. Okay, that will do nicely. Okay, now that we're blind, oh, we'll hop up here and put the parking brake on, and then we'll just shut her down. Okay then, let's see then. So we need our paint gun, but we also need some sand to start off with. So we'll put our sand there. We'll grab this like that. Right, guys, let's go for it then. It's a shame the lighting's not a bit better in this museum, like, but anyway. So there we go. There's the grey version. Yeah. Let's grab our paint. In fact, we'll just put all these down while we're here. Okay, guys, let's go for it then. Livery going on. Alright. There we go. So she's returned to her blue and white livery. She looks lovely, actually. Wow. So nice, actually fell in the pit. Right, yeah. Stunning, actually. Yeah, very good. Great to see when she's outside. But we need to do inside as well, so let's hop inside. You see all the rusted internals. Let's get rid of all that. So there we go. She's back to grey. I quite like it like that, you know. It's very sterile, but it's also kind of what you'd expect inside a loco, I think. But anyway, we'll give her the paint job. So there we go. Oh. Now I wasn't expecting it to be orange. That is, or gold actually, or almost like a goldy brown. That is a lovely finish out. Actually, it's like powder coat finish. Lovely. Right, we'll drop all that rubbish there. Pop this there. We'll hop up here. Start her up. And then we'll just decide what we're doing next then. So we've got our part on order. Yeah, so there it goes. It says congratulations, take good care of her. So we've actually completed the DH4. So that's amazing. Right. So let's pull her forward. Actually, you know what? No, we won't. And there's a reason, isn't there? Because we need to grab. We want to get this car. We want to get this trailer out of here. So we need to move this girl in order to do that. So if I remember rightly, we need switches on. There we go. Reverser is now forward, and with that she's in neutral. Put her into first gear. That's the throttle, but parking brake needs to come off. And again, we're in a situation where this isn't lined up. Whoops. There we go. And again, so it's like a diesel mechanical, you can't, right, that's doing nothing. Can't find where the independent brake is. Does she have one? What's that again? Cab heater. Well, she doesn't have an independent brake, and it's raining indoors again. Right, let's, how did we stop her then before? That's weird, I can't remember when we were driving her what we did. Does she have any sort of independent style brake? So she's got that. Whoops. So she's only got a train brake. And the brake pipe is empty. That's a bit odd. Hold on a sec, right? So let's put her into neutral. Whoops. So if we release this, what happens? So she's still got that flashing light. So where? Oh, there it is. That's why. I was looking for that. Right. Okay. Good stuff. Right. We'll put her into reverse now. So she should start moving now. And now we'll find that the train brake is effective because we've got the cutout off. So there we go. And that will do nicely. So pop the parking brake back on. Neutral there. Neutral there. And if you remember rightly, the switchy off button is this one here. So there we go. Right, now we can proceed as planned. Now we need to rotate this though, don't we? I wonder how many people have had accidents with this turntable and forgetting to turn it or jumping in the air just randomly. Right, and another thing we want is the caboose actually. So, should we put the caboose directly behind the loco and then have the trailer at the back, or the other way around? I think the caboose needs to go closer to the loco. In fact, if I did DE6, I would put the DE6 directly behind this baby, and then I put the caboose behind the locos before I put any cars on the back. I know ideally you'd have a caboose at the back of the train, the back of the set of cars, but ultimately what it means is that we would struggle with dropping off in terms of how would you therefore how would you be able to drop off cars from the back if you've got a caboose behind? Alright. The beautiful thing obviously is that we can use the remote, which also releases the parking brake quite nicely for us. But we do with the caboose have an extended what do you call range on this remote. Now, can we fit everything on here? I think we should be able to, shouldn't we? So we should be able to fit the caboose, the loco, and that trailer. How big is that trailer? It's quite long, isn't it? Might be a squeeze. can't see which one it is. I think it's that one. Okay, good stuff. Whoa. Okay. Temporarily blind. How do you get out of here once you're in? That's the thing. Okay, so the brake pressure there has come up. Whoops. So yeah, we've got the career manager in here, which is quite useful to carry around with us. So yeah, she fits nicely actually. So are we heading to Harbour Town first? I would suggest so. So we'll pick up a job there. But yeah, this blue is striking. It's not as striking, to be totally honest. I'll be honest, it's not as striking as the DM3 livery. It's lovely to look at, isn't it? But it's not as striking as the DM3 livery, that's for sure. So it's raining inside, but it's dry out here. Actually, is there anything going to Harbour? I can't remember. I think it was just shunting jobs, wasn't it? For Harbour. Let's see. Goods factory. Ah, there's a logistical going to Harbour. Is that it? Oh, there's another one. Oh, that one's both little ones, aren't they? 18 and 30. Maybe we can just do these then. Just a little set of jobs. So 18 and 30. Let's see where they are. So this is 18. So it's what appears to be this thing, followed by 3 sort of empty cars, 2 and then 3, 2, 3 and then 2. So 2 and then 2. So that's there. What else? Then we've got the 30, which is looks like these tankers. So yeah, sure, let's take those. So we want to be a little bit further forward. We'll get those other ones first. So this should make life a lot easier, having the DH4 and having the ability to use this with the extended range. So we've got the signal boost, which is absolutely fantastic. Whoa. What was that? We must have hit those hard there. I mean, I think we hit them fairly hard, but not that hard. She doesn't like that, does she? But yeah, that diesel hydraulic engine is absolutely wonderful. Look at this. Look at the acceleration. It's barely, I mean, I put a little bit of throttle on and I eased it off. And she's just rocketed off. Can't quite see where we're going there, but we'll do it when we get in there. So apparently with the caboose as well, you've got the option to charge your remote control, which I'm not entirely too sure how that works, to be totally honest, but we can give it a look, especially in the daylight. Okay, we'll be a bit more gentle this time coming up here. Okay, so what we'll do is just put her on like one notch of power, and while she's sort of pulling away, we'll go and validate these orders, and then hopefully we'll rush back and the cars will be on the way. Okay, good stuff. Right, let's hit the tracks. So there, she's just starting to pick up now a little bit. Okay, let's go back to the front then. So yeah, here's the caboose. Now, it doesn't seem to have a light, which doesn't really help, does it, when you're trying to see how to operate things. But anyway, let's hop out a sec again. Then we'll hop up on the front of our loco. So you've got a 50k speed limit here. In fact, we'll just go inside and see if we can see what we're doing here when we get to Harbour. So we've picked up. We want to be on step 3 now to drop off. So we're dropping off the 18 set, which is the ones directly behind the loco, into D5S. The other set, the tankers, are going to D1S. So we're going into D. So what I'll probably do is pull forward either into the military base or into C once we get there, turn around. So either there, go there and reverse, or go into C and reverse. I'll probably do C. So let's set up our switches for that. Yeah, so my idea was that we were going to be coming here with the DE6s and get them all manually serviced. But yeah, to no avail in the end. So that looks good. Yeah, that looks good to me. The one switch actually that we haven't checked is this one. And yeah, that is taking us into Harbour, so all good. Yep, she's doing a fine job of pulling these, that's for sure. We didn't bring our remote MU controllers with us, despite having... How many have we got? 8? Is it? Or 6? I think it's 6 actually, but... We've got the 6, but... We don't need to take them with us because we can just access any tool shed right next to the station office and do what we need to do, basically. So yeah, it's not a problem at all. Don't need to fill your inventory all the time with stuff. And as you can see, there's barely anything in mine. We've got a compass, torch, got a lighter, which you a bit rarely need. We've got a flag, and we've got the manual. And then we've got our 2 orders, remote and various maps, remote control and wallet. We could have installed the clinometer and stuff like that in here because we are going to be driving this train primarily, so that's something that we could do at Harbour Town. In fact, in order to... we don't want to be derailing straight away. We're only going 55 though, we've got a 50 limit. In order to... We've got a 70 limit now. In order to unlock the licenses that we want, we're going to have to clear our fees, but thankfully, using this train, you don't have any fees outstanding in the way of being able to clear licenses, because the only fees that you've got to clear before you can get new licenses is the ones that you've got outstanding on rented vehicles. This is our own. So marvellous, eh? I mean, it should be our own. We've spent an absolute fortune on it. So yeah, the DE6 will be next. So that should be fun, picking up the engine for that and then bringing that back. Installing it, repairing it, and then painting it. Yeah, so we just have to remember when we get to Machine Factory in town, the decision there about painting it is, you know, important. I think we'll probably go with standard livery. I don't know whether you can repaint the slug into Derail Valley standard delivery or it would be interesting to find out if you can do that. Actually, I'll probably do some research on that. But yeah, the one thing I did find out is that you certainly can't paint the slug in custom livery, unfortunately. Do we have a brighter headlight? Yes, we do. The only thing is as well, that caboose, it completely blocks your view of the cars, which is not ideal. We might dump that caboose. I mean, the extension of the remote is very nice. But yeah, it's not exactly that beneficial, is it, when you can't see the trains, can't see the cars behind you. In fact, you know, guys, we are coming into Harbour Town. How quick was that? That was a very, very quick job, right? So what we're going to do is actually get to where we're going. So here we are. So this is the first turn, which is a 30. Oh no, it's 40k going around here. So yeah, but that would be going to military base over there. We are going round to the left. Can't quite see there. So there's the rear of our train. So yeah, so there's the service yard over there. So what trains do we have there? We've got a D6, couple of D2s. So we might grab that D6 if we get some heavy stuff going to machine factory in town, or we might not. We may just use this baby, because why not? Right, so we are taking a right here into C yard. Got another D2 over there, which is always there for shunting. So what I'll do is, at this point, we'll just put a little bit of brake on just to bring it down to about 20. A little bit more of that. Right, I want it to be on that lamppost like Dishonored. Right, okay, so it looks like she's feeding into the loading bay, which is absolutely fine because it's empty. So we're going to have to come past this switch. I really don't like the look of the caboose. In fact, I'm tempted to just leave it here in case we need it for some reason. I just don't like the way it looks. And it blocks the view out the back of the train as well. Alright, so back to our thing. We're going to be reversing into D yard. So we've got our tankers on the back going into D1S. So let's have a look at D yard. In fact, we'll check firstly again on here. So we're now here. We're going to come up there, into D yard, and we want to be in D1S, which if you're coming in from this direction is to the left, is to the left, is to the left, and is to the left. So D1S will be first, followed by D5S, which I think is over the other side. Oh no, it isn't. So it's just a case of coming forward again and then going back into D5, which is right over to the right. So here we go, everything's moving nicely. Wonderful. Right. Let's go over here. One thing we can do here is hop up and then follow it round. Just let it sit here. Let the DH4 push us round. So we'll just take a look over here, see if there's anything in these lanes. Because really, when we're putting 4 cars in, there shouldn't be. It looks like there is some space for us. I don't know whether there'll be anything in there further down. Is that something in there? Looks like there is. Thankfully, we've only got the 4 cars to fit in. So what we can do technically is just not latch on the couple. Release the parking brake on that one, or we could just push it, which is something that we often do. Just push it along. It's a tight fit, that's the thing. We've got 4 cars going in. And we will couple, get that parking brake released. We'll let her just push these a bit. In the hope of getting everything in. So there's only one more to go here. It's not very helpful, is it? So she's just pushing under her own weight. I haven't put any extra throttle on. And as soon as we get to here, then we'll just consider that job done. Whoop. Not with the throttle, you won't. Wow. Right, so we'll put that parking brake on. Yeah, press the button, wrong button there. So she can go forward. And while she's going forward, we might as well split these and put everything nice and neat. So parking brake back on there. We'll split these because you don't know. Our next job might include these cars or this end one. We could go and validate this order, but I think... Actually, what's the time limit on these things? 23 minutes, so we're actually tight here. And the next one's D5S, which looks like it's got nothing in. Yeah, I could have run across and validated this order, but I just want to check these cars going here nicely, as quickly as possible. Get two time bonuses, we might as well. And we won't bother taking the parking brake off this one. See if those are in now. Not quite. So we could have fly shunted those, but we won't. Okay, I think that's in. That's got to be classed as in. Right, where's the station office then? We are in D, we're going to the wrong end, which doesn't help, does it? So we want to be up this way. If I remember rightly, it's here. Right, let's get these orders validated. Right, so there's one. I think we would have got a time bonus. We'll have a look at it in a sec. And there's the second one. We did get the time bonus for that one, so let's see. Yes, we got a time bonus. So a nice bit of money. Nothing to sort of, you know, bark about type thing. We'll have a look through these next time. We'll have a look at the military ones as well and see if there's anything cracking over there. But for now, guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me in this episode. Next time, we'll be taking some stuff up to Machine Factory in town to grab that engine for the DE6. So please do join me for that. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And take care of yourselves. I'll catch you again soon.